How you doing, people? I just got myself a couple of these Wilson Ultra Pro 305 grams. It's the outgoing version, Ultra Pro B4 16 by 19 string pattern. They also make a 18 by 20 string pattern. That's a beautiful racket. Color varies from green to purple depending on what direction you rotate the racket. Like right now it's purple and then it turns back to green, purple, so color shifting theme. I'll post the Unstrung specs that I measured over here. I'll be recording my initial hitting session with it as I string it up. If you want to see what I think of it, stay tuned. The first step I'm going to do is change out the stock replacement grip, 1/4 inch size. I'm going to take it out and install my go-to, which is the Head Contour Cushion Pro. Right here, it's a little bit perforated and it has these rings with cushioning material in there. So it raises up a little bit, but it doesn't make the grip larger or anything, just give you a little bit more cushioning. So I'll get that replaced and I'll be right back. Unstrung weight, almost 303 grams. The head replacement grip, I've had to cut out a very long portion of it. I've thrown some away too. So the racket is supposed to be like right on before as estimated it before I removed the plastic tape and everything. It's supposed to be like right at 305 with the plastic removed. And so I've since replaced the replacement grip. So it seems like either this grip is lighter or because the amount that I cut out and I wrapped it without much of overlap, because that'll thicken the grip. You know, I have kind of small hands. Looks like we've saved a couple of grams out of this whole ordeal. Instead of 305, we get 303, which is good. I have no problem with that. So let's get it strung up. I'm gonna do 48. Yeah, just gonna do 48 full bed with this. Solinco recommends between 40 to 50. This racket recommends 50 to 60. So it's just gonna go a little bit below the racket's recommendation. back as its first grommet hole skip at number 8 grommet hole. Both top and bottom.
Free admission.
Now let's start with the crosses.
很容易解决啊，荷兰头小或石头去。荷兰头小会这么轻易头小吗？你想想看啊，中国大陆为什么学习啊？当然荷兰这个地方很容易的，因为别的不能拿。对啊，但是是这样子啊，因为它的封装厂是在中国大陆。封装测试需要庞大，因为它当然在中国大陆干。这里面是这样，本来文泰科技就是安氏半导体的下游厂商，帮他销售，帮他做这一些售后服务。那本来是大家安氏半导体赚钱啊，是因为文泰科技接手以后，它转向做汽车的这些半导体，有所谓的分离元件。那一个汽车要用分离元件，少说也有4、5千个啊，你没有都不行啊。那这个。
We go back to the garden. God builds the perfect environment for Adam and for his helpmate, for Eve. Provides for them everything that they could possibly need, an absolute utopia. Perfect temperature, no thistles, no flies, no insects, no bitter root, no vegetables. Everything they eat is delicious. Not only that, if that wasn't enough, every day he comes down and walks with them in the cool of the evening in the garden, communes with them, talks with them face to face like a man speaks to his friend. The perfect environment. And yet there is one instruction that they have. Of all of the trees of the fruit of the garden, you may partake, eat of freely, except for one. The tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Of that tree you shall not partake. You shall not even go near it. Don't even touch it. How do you feel if someone, as a thinking man, if it's someone that was in a position of authority or power over you, it gave you an arbitrary test of obedience? Didn't make any sense. Just wanted to see, will you follow my rules or will you not follow my rules? Well, if you're like me, the first thing you're going to go do is you're going to eat. You're going to test that. You're going to, whatever that arbitrary test of obedience was that you're not supposed to do, what do you think the first thing I'm going to go do is? Because of my rebellious spirit. I may not have wanted to go partake of that tree, but now that I've been told not to, that's the first one I'm going to go do. Raise your hand if you're cut from that cloth. What we understand, and what the fool doesn't understand, that the tree was not an arbitrary test of obedience. That before the garden, before Adam and Eve, God's authority had been questioned. There was a war in heaven. Angels were made to serve God. God created 2 covering cherub. One of them was Lucifer, the light bearer. God's perfect creation. He rebelled. So convincing was he convinced 1/3 of God's family to rebel and to go to war against him. The reason why the tree of the knowledge of good and evil was put in the garden was not an arbitrary test of obedience for Adam and for Eve, but there is a lot going on before they were even created. The 2/3 that did not fall are still, maybe some of them, sitting on the fence. So when you look at it that way, I used to hate that story. Why would you do that? Why would you create a stumbling block for them? Why even put that in there at all? Why not, if you're going to create for them the perfect environment, why create an opportunity that would cause them to lose paradise? I mean, that's a dick move. to give someone, your children, you know, or put something in your child's environment on your homestead or property, and warn them about it, and then tell them if it would be fatal to them, it would kill them. You got a power transformer, and like, don't, I put that there. I'm going to take the cover off. Don't touch that, because if you touch it, you'll die. What's the first thing you do when you have a child? You go over there, you touch it. My grandfather, I was playing around with a cigarette lighter in the car, the old ones. I pulled it out, I'm looking at it. He knew. He's like, don't touch that. It'll burn you. Okay, I put it away. We pull up to the parts store. He runs out, he's got to go in and grab something. What's the first thing I do? I light it up again, get it cherry red, pull it out, and touch it with my finger. And I'm crying with a blister on my finger after doing just what he told me not to do. Is it my granddad's fault that I touched it? God does not arbitrarily place things to trip you up. God has built a hedge of protection around those who love him and attempt to keep his commandments. As long as you stay inside that hedge of protection, you have the power, you have the authority, you have everything that you need to resist falling into sin. The moment you step off that reservation, you are outside of God's protection. The moment you put yourself in an environment where you now have access to pornography, to alcohol, to heroin, whatever it is, prostitution, is it God tempting you? Or have you made the conscious decision to walk outside that hedge of protection, put yourself on the enemy's ground, and now you're on your own? That's the way I look at it. What James is saying right here, God's not the one tempting you. But God will allow, if you want to. You have the freedom of choice. I had the freedom of choice to touch that cherry red cigarette lighter. My grandfather didn't bind my hands and put me in handcuffs, knowing that the moment he walked away, I would do that. He gave me the freedom to do it, didn't he? I had to learn the lesson on my own. Let us read on. But each one is tempted when he is drawn away by his own desires and enticed. Then, when desire has conceived, it gives birth to sin, and sin, when it is full grown, brings forth death. There it is. There it is. Now, what just my 15 minutes of rambling right there, it was answered right here in this beautifully succinct sentence. When desire has conceived, what desire? Desire for lust, desire for alcohol, desire for whatever it is. When desire has conceived, it gives birth to sin. Your sin, your falling, your temptation of God comes from the desire you created. We created at my grandparents' house. I used to have these wooden blocks, big box of wooden blocks I would play with for hours and hours. One time, I took all those wooden blocks and I put them in a pile, big pile across the living room, threw a thin blanket over top of them, and then jumped on top of them from the footstool and started jumping up and down on these blocks. Well, you know what happened. Bruised and hurt my feet. I immediately fall off the blocks. I'm holding my feet. I'm rolling around crying. My grandmother comes in to see what's going on. And what do I say to her? Nana, why don't you clean up your filthy house or your dirty house? I had put the blocks on the floor. I threw the blanket over them. I jumped on them with bare feet. I received the consequences of my action. And the moment she comes in to see what is amiss, it's her fault. Why don't you clean up your dirty house? Implying that if she wasn't such a poor housekeeper, then I wouldn't be suffering all this pain from the blocks. I mean, that's a child's story, and it's completely ridiculous. Tell me the truth, is that not exactly what you and I do on a regular basis? when we get ourselves into sin, when we get ourselves into a bind, and then we blame our Father. Goodness. Put sevens in the chat if we're hearing some preaching today, gentlemen. Tell me this doesn't cut deep to the bone. Wasn't Eve misquoting God?
Wilson Ultra Pro 305 Unstrung Ultra Pro V4. It's my first hit with the ball machine. Let's go. Solinco MACH-10. That wore me out really quick. Just like they said, you gotta put your whole body into the shot. I mean, once you do that, full stroke, full swing, can't be lazy, can't be late. It just puts out what you put in very precisely. These strings are fresh, strung at 48 pounds, full bed, so strung last night, so it's still very tight. As the string loosens up, it should give me more power. I'm seeing that I'm hitting with good depth on the forehand side, but with the backhand side, still need to adjust it and hit it deeper somehow. So I'll go another round, be right back. So before I hit it again, I should mention that this is with the stock, everything's stock. I forgot how much it weighs. Here's the actual strung specs as measured with just dampener added, nothing else. 328 grams, 316 swing weight, 12.7 twist. Warehouse 8 points headlight. 317, so it's nearly right on spec. Balance is about 8 points headlight. So this is still quite a bit away from my normal hitting swing weight with including the dampener. I normally hit about 328, a maximum 330. I try not to go over 330, then before it becomes too much of a struggle to last through 3 sets of tennis during the match. So between 314 current, I want to try and bump it up to no more than 325. So there's still a lot of room for customization. I'm thinking about placing lead at the 3 and 9 o'clock position, which a lot of people do. That should give me more twist weight, make the racket more stable with more plow through. One of the common complaints is that the racket isn't stable enough, and that's probably attributed to by the thin beam. This is like around 20 point something or beam width. Okay, whereas my normal pure Aero Rafa stick, we're talking about something like 23 or 24 up here, and then 25 to 26 millimeter in a sweet spot area, and then tapers off down the throat. So those type of power rackets is very different compared to these thin beam type control rackets. So you give and you take. At least the advantage with this stick is that at least it's open pattern. It's 16 by 19. As opposed to the other version that they also make, the 18 by 20. That's the open, the closed pattern. So with that stick, it's even more difficult for anyone to pocket the ball and grab the ball and spin it. For your top seam players out there, I suppose for flat hitters or big hitters, they just smack the ball straight on. It doesn't matter as much to them. They could hit with very close patterns that would feel very boardy, but I don't think I fall into that category. So I'll definitely do some more customization, most likely put some lead at the 3 and 9, as I mentioned, possibly some at the 2 and 10 o'clock position, and maybe some at the top too. If you place weight at the top, that's the quickest way to increase swing weight. For every gram you put at the 3 and the 9 o'clock position, you gain about approximately 2 units of swing weight. At the 2 and the 10 o'clock position, you gain about 3 units of swing weight. Whereas if you put it like under the head guard, you gain up to 4 units. Whereas if you put it inside the head guard, like inside the frame, then it's a little less. Maybe like between 3.5 to 4 units of swing weight per gram of lead. All right, that's about it, and I'm gonna finish hitting this bucket of balls before I go home. Struggle to hit deep with the backhand. Back is much better.
Oh wow, I like that. Biggest stroke. Oh. Come on, backhand. No way. I'll do another hit after I add some lead to it. Hopefully that'll help my backhand. As you can see, yeah, I'm still not dialed in on backhand side yet, because obviously the weight, the balance, I normally hit with 6 points headlight. Currently it's at 8 points headlight, and it's too light on both the static weight and the swing weight. But at the same time, I don't want to increase the swing rate too much, because with a control racket like this, it helps somebody like me to keep it at a lighter weight, lighter strong weight and swing weight. This way, as a baseline hitter or counter puncher, as I've been called, you know, obviously I'm going to do a lot of running. So obviously don't want to boost up the weight too much, so I'll keep it at below 325 swing weight, and the static weight try to keep it my current pure Aero is at 333 gram. Yeah, up or down a couple of grams, give or take. So I'm gonna try to keep it within 330 grams with this racket, and maximum 325 swing weight, and we'll go from there. So thank you very much for watching. I'll let you know how it goes. Hopefully good, and hopefully I can keep this racket. I heard that people like the feel of it, the pro stock. It's just when they hit against heavy hitters, the stick tends to get pushed around a bit, and I can see that. So with the thin beam, you probably don't hit as high of a spin from this type of racket compared to a spin racket like a pure Aero or something like that. But hopefully the control and precision can make up for it, and only time will tell. You know, it's not magic. They're used to a racket, and hopefully I'll get a better idea whether or not I should keep this racket after a few sessions of hit with it. So stay tuned, I'll let you know what happened. Thank you very much for watching, and like and comment below, subscribe. I shall see you next time. Take care.